What is up, people of YouTube? It is so nice to have you guys here. My name is Quinn McCarty, and we're going to go over 5 simple tips to get better at wildlife photography. And don't worry, you don't need a bunch of expensive gear to do it. You do need a telephoto lens though. Let's jump into it.
Oh baby, this time will be gone forever, never in a lifetime will you see us back here again. So come before it's too late, hurry now cause I can't wait. Let's put on our anthem, we'll be singing all night long, all night long.
Now when you first start out, it's very important to start at locations where animals are pretty comfortable with people. There's a reason for this. It will help you get better at framing and composition, getting more familiar with your gear for moving subjects and being able to get quick to the draw, and learning what settings kind of work for what situations. So when you do go on those trips to see more exotic wildlife, you can capture it. Okay, so you pick a location and now what? Luckily for us, the best time to shoot is morning and afternoon. That's actually usually when animals are most active. You do need to watch out for weather though, because what happens is you can see the clouds in the distance. Luckily I've gotten some blue clear skies where I'm at, but when it's gloomy like that, that leads to less vibrant images. You can't have as high a shutter speed, and it makes it harder to get good contrast in your images. In the morning or the afternoon, you have your sun in the east or the west, and that means that you're gonna get some pretty good light. You usually want your back to the sun, and that way whatever's in front of you is gonna be nicely lit. Found an osprey. Now I'm just waiting on him to actually do something. He's being rather chatty. He's a talker. Okay, tip number 3 would be research. Finding out as much as you can about the animal you want to go and try and photograph. Stupid wind, every time. If you want to photograph a particular animal, what you need to do is find out as much about that animal as possible, how to track it, how to find it, what calls it makes, how it interacts, and just do your homework, figure out patterns. You can do this at a zoo, you can do it by just frequenting places. And there's the wind. Most animals, like birds, they have certain habits that translate to all birds. Well, most birds. Typically, like when an osprey is going to take off, it's going to fly into the wind, not with it, which is weird to me. But if you guys want to get a picture of the face of the osprey, then you want to make sure you're standing back to the wind. Yeah, back to where the wind is facing. You guys know what I mean, right? Okay, let's move on. Unless you guys want to get the tail feathers, then you can stay with the... No. Okay, tip number 4. Tip number 4 would be to capture a key moment. Something that's going to set you apart from other wildlife photographers is getting that crucial moment that tells a story in your image. Like a bird hunting for its meal, or a coyote out in the rain. That's gonna make all the difference, is you really convey the emotions with how the animal's living. That's really gonna make the biggest difference, is you can get an animal standing there, sitting there, laying there, and sitting on a tree branch, whatever. You can get a million of those, but waiting for that key moment is crucial, which gets us in tip number 5. Now the last tip is the most important tip for a wildlife photographer, and that is patience. This setting might look familiar. I'd mentioned the osprey that is still up there in that corner. He's been there for about 2 hours and hasn't even made a move. It takes a lot of time to capture next level wildlife photos. You're not going to be able to get a National Geographic worthy wildlife shot in a 20-minute hike. If you manage to, then you know what? Go buy yourself a lotto ticket, because you are super lucky. Me, on the other hand, I have waited 8 hours and not even gotten one single good shot. Sometimes the osprey decides to fly off into the sunset. Sometimes he ate probably like an hour before I got there or found him, and he doesn't want to eat again. You gotta remember, when you're out here, we are on their time. So, luck of the draw, observing, and most importantly, patience. Now there you have 5 wildlife photography tips that I have for you guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more, maybe enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button. I can't catch a break with this wind, and that is frustrating. For those of you guys who are regulars of my content, this is the part where I'm gonna say I'm sorry I haven't posted for a little while. I've been taking care of a lot of stuff, and I'm doing good. Feels good to be back out. Feels good to have blue skies. It's been gloomy for, gosh, feels like the whole entire year. On a side note, if you don't own a camera but you want to potentially get into wildlife photography specifically, not videography, I'm going to link a couple cameras. They're going to be affiliate links that I think would be good starters for wildlife photography, as well as all my gear with the affiliate links through Amazon are linked down below. That's it. See you in the next video. There's so much wind. Why? Every time I go and try to talk to you guys, there's wind. Can I get away from the wind? Will this tree block the wind? No? Okay. There wasn't wind when I wasn't talking to you guys. What the heck?